Grade 5, Chapter 2, Rocks and Soil. New words. Rock, solid mineral material that forms part of the earth's surface. Gravel, small particles of rock which are bigger than sand particles. Pebbles, small, smooth, rounded stones found near water bodies. Silt, sand brought down by flowing water and then deposited when the water slows down. Erode, to gradually destroy, bit by bit, the surface of rocks through the action of wind, rain, etc. Texture, the way a surface feels when you touch it. Composition, different parts of which something is made of. Crust, the outer layer of the earth. Magma, very hot liquid material found deep inside the earth. Bacteria and fungi, living organisms in the soil. Humus, dead and rotten plant and animal matter. Fertile, refer to land rich in minerals required for proper growth of plants. I am learning. Look around. What do you see? Land, soil, and rocks. Have you ever wondered how these rocks and soil are formed? Do you know that soil is formed due to the breaking down of rocks? Let us learn about different types of rocks and how soil is formed from rocks. Rocks. Rocks is a natural solid mass made up of grains of substances called minerals. There are many different minerals that are naturally found in the earth. Rocks are of different colors and hardness depending on the type of minerals present in them. Types of rocks. Rocks are mainly divided into three types: igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic. Igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are also known as fire rocks. These are formed from magma. Magma is the hot molten material formed deep inside the earth. Igneous rocks are formed either underground or above the ground. Below the ground, they are formed when volcanoes erupt, causing the magma, called lava, to flow out on the earth's surface. The lava slowly cools down and becomes a solid rock mass called igneous rock. Igneous rocks are called primary rocks because they are the first form of rocks. The hardness and appearance of the igneous rock depend on how the magma cools. Sometimes magma cools slowly just under the earth's surface. Sometimes it gushes out to the surface through long cracks in the earth's crust and then cools down quickly to form rocks. Some common igneous rocks are granite, basalt, and pumic. Sedimentary rocks. The rocks on the surface of the earth are continuously broken down due to changes in temperature and the forces of flowing water, wind, and ice. This process is known as weathering. The small pieces of rocks are blown away by wind or carried down by rainwater to rivers, lakes, and seas. The rivers also erode the mountains and bring down the eroded material to the plains. As the river slows down, it starts depositing the eroded material on the bed and banks of the river. The tiny particles and fragments of rocks that settle at the bottom of the water bodies, as you have seen, form layers called sediments. The process of settling down of the particles is called sedimentation. Over several years, more and more layers of sediments are formed. The water and upper layers of sediments press down on the lower layers and gradually form hard rocks over a period of time. Such rocks are known as sedimentary rocks. Some common sedimentary rocks are sandstone, limestone, shale, conglomerates. Fossils. Some plant and animals are also carried away along with the flow of water and gets buried in the layers of soil. Usually their remains decay, but the hard parts such as teeth, shells and bones remain. They get preserved between layers of rocks. The preserved remains of dead plants and animals are called fossils. Fossils are thus formed when a dead plant or animal is buried under layers of sediments which over several years turn into sedimentary rocks. Weathering and erosion. Weathering is the breaking down of Earth's rocks, soils, and minerals through direct contact with the atmosphere, such as heat, pressure, water, wind, and ice. Weathering occurs with no movement and should not be confused with erosion. Erosion involves the movement of rocks and minerals by agents such as water, ice, wind, and gravity. Metamorphic rocks. The word metamorphic means change. When igneous and sedimentary rocks change due to pressure or pressure of heat, they form metamorphic rocks. The texture, appearance, and composition of the rocks can change due to heat or pressure deep inside the earth. For example, limestone changes to marble, shale changes to slate, sandstone changes to quartzite, and granite changes to gneiss due to heat and pressure. Soil. Soil is the loose material that covers most of the land on the earth's surface. It is made up of particles of rocks and minerals, dead plant and animal matter, tiny living organisms, gases, and water. Soil is very important for life on earth because it provides water and minerals for the plants to grow. Formation of soil. Soil is formed by the gradual breaking down of surface rocks and minerals into smaller pieces by the action of water, wind, and ice. Burrowing animals and roots growing into the ground also break the rocks. Besides, when plants and animals die, their bodies gradually decay due to the action of tiny living things called bacteria and fungi that are present in the soil. This organic matter present in the soil is called humus. Humus is what makes the soil rich and fertile. Soil also contains spaces filled with water and gases. Plants absorb water and gases through their roots. Layers of soil. To understand the layers of soil, let us look at the bottle of soil and water that we mixed earlier. Now, observe that there are different layers of soil in the bottle. At the bottom are small stones called gravel. Above the gravel is a layer of large particles of sand. Above the sand is a layer of very fine particles. This layer is of clay. Floating on the top are some dark brown pieces of humus. Soil is made up of three layers: topsoil, subsoil, and bedrock. Topsoil. This is the topmost layer of the soil. It contains a lot of humus and is home to several tiny creatures or organisms. Humus makes the soil more fertile and also makes it look darker in color. Subsoil. This is the layer below the topsoil. It is made up of humus, rocks, and minerals. There are cracks and pores in the subsoil which help water to drain away, preventing the soil from getting too wet. It has three sublayers. The first layer of this subsoil is made up of sand and silt. It has pebbles and gravel in it. The second layer has clay and some mineral deposits. The root of various trees grown down in this layer of soil. The third layer is of broken rocks. Plant roots do not go through this layer. Bedrock. This is the lowest layer. This layer has rocks which make it a hard layer and water cannot pass through it. Importance of soil. Soil is important for all living beings. Plants grow and get nourishment from the soil. Animals and human beings depend upon plants for their food. Soil has many minerals in it. Useful minerals like coal and petroleum are found in soil. Metals like gold, iron, silver, and aluminium are also found in soil. Soil erosion. When the topsoil becomes loose, it is carried away by wind and water. This process is known as erosion. Soil erosion is caused naturally by wind and water. However, it is increased by human activities such as deforestation, mining, and construction. Deforestation. The process of cutting down trees is known as deforestation. Man needs wood for building houses and to make furniture. For this, he cut trees. Human beings also cut forests for making dams, mining, and expanding cities. All these causes deforestation. Trees and plants hold the topsoil together with the help of their roots. Due to deforestation, the topsoil becomes loose and the soil is then easily blown away by the wind or running water. Landslides. Landslide is the sudden coming down of loose rocks and pebbles from mountains. Landslides occur as a result of loosening of soil in areas that do not have good vegetation or tree cover. To prevent landslides, more and more trees should be planted on the slopes of the mountain. Soil conservation. Soil is an important resource for all living organisms such as plants, animals, and human beings. That is why we must save and conserve it. Soil can be conserved in various ways.